If you clicked on this video, that means that you are looking to learn how to speedrun Five Nights at Freddy's Ultimate Custom Night all jump scares, and that's great, because I'm here to help. I currently hold the second place time on the leaderboard, and I've worked pretty hard for it, and I think I can teach you on the proper way to get a better time. Also, because the board only has about 50 to 60 people, I really want to see it grow. I want to see more people submitting time and get a healthy community going. That's why I'm building this guide. Before I start getting into all the animatronics and how they work and what you should do, I'm going to go over these three common terms that you'll hear me say a few times. Right? The most common one here is intervals. Now, what an interval is that it's a time cycle on how often an animatronic gets the opportunity to move. So 6-second intervals, as you can see I displayed, they can move at the 6-second mark, 12-second mark, 18, 24, 30, and on. Every 6 seconds they get that chance. Take someone like Toy Chica, for example. She can only move on 14-second intervals. Meaning at the 14-second mark, she will run her 34% chance to spawn. She can do it or she cannot. Whatever. And then at 28 seconds, she runs that opportunity again. It's not like she can spawn at any random point in the night, she can only spawn on those 14-second intervals. The next term we have here is aggro. Aggro is really just a variable, a number that is used by some animatronics to determine when they're ready to attack. You'll see it with our first animatronic in a second here, Freddy Fazbear. But what this number is literally just a number that slowly builds up over time, and then once it hits a certain number that it's looking for, they'll attack you, or use that number to move to their next phase. Now, the last key term here is frames. Now, as many of you should know, games run on a frame rate. Ultimate Custom Night is set at its exact 60 frames per second. And some animatronics use chances that happen on frames, so it'll impact how often they get to attack you. To my knowledge, you cannot change the frame rate, and I don't believe it is within the rules to change it, because it would give you an advantage. Moving on here, we're going to get into Freddy Fazbear in just a second. First, I'm going to explain to you what all this is. On the left side, you got the picture. Of course, I had to add that. Maybe you don't remember what they look like to the name. You never know. You got their name. This box right here tells you what they do, how they work. Then, in that little bottom there, you can see my fastest recorded death, which may be outdated. These were tests I just did one time, and maybe in my speedruns I got a better one and I didn't notice it was faster than my original, and I didn't update the time. But this is what I have recorded as my fastest time to die. That little circle on the left can either be orange, green, or red. Greens mean that this is the set fastest time you can die to them, there is no way to make it better. Orange means that this is probably the fastest time, around there. Probably can do a little bit better, but that's roughly the best you can get. Red means that this animatronic is very luck heavy. I have no real way to tell you that this is the fastest, so it's just the best I've got. Then those two little numbers down there are a luck ranking and a speed ranking that I have given them personally. The luck ranking is pretty much just based off of how much luck do you need to die to this animatronic, and the speed one is just how fast do they kill you. So let's go over it with Freddy Fazbear here. Freddy, every single second he increases his aggro by that equation. His AI level, which should be 20, plus the temperature minus 60 divided by 5. So every 5 temperature above 60, that's plus 1 to his aggro on every second. This goes up to 12 at 120 in the office. So basically every second he adds 32 aggro once he gets to that point. Now, his stage visually changes every 100 aggro on the cameras. And once he's at 400 aggro, he's looking into your door, and that's when you can block him by the door. But his jump scare only happens when he reaches 500. Now, for his jump scare to happen, you do need to be on the cameras. Now, it's never stated that there's a chance for it to happen, it's just that every second he does do it, but I have noticed that his kill time varies despite the fact of always turning on the heater the moment the night starts, and when he kills. There's like a variation. But anyway, let's move on to Bonnie. Now, Bonnie's recorded death is a bunch of dashes because he doesn't actually kill. Bonnie is one that just gives you a bad effect in the night, but lets you continue running. These are like your favorite animatronics. They will always have a luck and speed rank of 0. And all he does is just appears in Pirate Cove and will disable cameras for, I don't know the exact time, like 8 to 10 seconds. And you can tell if he's there by the figurine on the desk, but something about this figurine is that it has a 66% chance to change every 2 seconds, but will only actually change upon the cameras being flipped down. So just, if you really want to get Bonnie, you're farming it for some reason, wait 2 seconds, flip the cameras up and down to see if it changed. If it's Bonnie, go look at it on the cameras. Moving on to Chica. Chica, you can make her mad by just changing the music in the kitchen. And once she is mad, she has a 20% chance to kill you every 0.5 seconds. Now the fastest time I've gotten to die to her is at the 1 second mark. I've gotten a luck rank of 0 and a speed rank of 1. Now while theoretically it is possible to die to her at the 0.5 second mark, that means you have to get onto her camera and change the music at least 0.4 seconds. I think it's theoretically possible, but to humanly do that is not really reliable. But to do it before the 0.9 second mark is much more doable, which is why I think 1 second is the fastest time you will die to Chica. Moving on to Foxy here. He's a bit complicated. Now, every single frame he gains aggro, which is just 1 plus H. H is how many stages he's progressed since he was last viewed on cameras. So it's kind of, when he's in phase 1, as long as you never look at him, when he's still in phase 1, he takes 13.3 seconds. Every 13.3, he runs his chance to go into his next stage. And then once he's in stage 2, it takes him 6.6 seconds to go to his next phase. Once he's in, phase 3, it takes him 4.4 seconds. And then that phase onwards, he takes 3.3, because that H number can cap, it caps at 3. So realistically, you only have the highest being plus 4 aggro every frame. Now once his aggro is 1000 minus AI times 10, which is 200, so once his aggro is 800, he has a 66% chance to progress to his next stage. Now, after, I think it's like his 4th stage, you'll see his legs in the office, then an arm, then his torso, then his underarm, and then his head. Once his head is on that table, he has a 10% chance to kill you every single frame that the camera is up. Now something to note is you don't actually have to see the camera on the desk, see the head on the desk for him to start killing you. If your cameras are just up, and then he moves to that phase where his head should be on the desk, then he'll start running his chance to kill. If you're sitting in the office, and you don't see the head on the desk, since it can only appear once you flip down your cameras, you don't see it there, but the code recognizes Foxy as being at that stage. The moment you flip up the camera, the first frame he can kill you. My luck rank is 3 because you have to hit like 9 66% chances throughout all those things to get a fast time. And the speed ranking is 4 because theoretically his fastest time is like 44 seconds. But he can take like a minute and 20 if he really wants to. He can take a while. It's kind of annoying. You usually get him at the later part of the run. Moving on to the FNaF 2 animatronics, we have Toy Freddy. As long as you don't touch his game, and you don't look at his camera, he will die to Mr. Hugs after exactly 15 seconds has passed. But then from there onward, starting at the 15-second mark, he has a 10% chance to kill you in every 0.5 second intervals if the camera is up. Now, fast recorded time is 15 seconds. That is the moment he dies and he instantly rolls that 10% chance and succeeds. He has a luck and speed rank of 1. He's a pretty good animatronic, dies pretty quick, luck isn't terrible. Don't always shoot for that 15-second mark. Honestly, anywhere between 15 and 20 seconds is really good. And that's like, what, 40? No, 10 chances for him to kill you. So you're giving him plenty of leeway. Now, Toy Bonnie and Toy Chica are essentially the same. Every 15 seconds, he rolls a 34% chance to spawn. 15-second intervals, and will kill you after 5 seconds pass in the office. His fastest time is set 20 seconds. Give him a luck rank of 2, since you have to get a 34% chance, and a speed rank of 1. Toy Chica is literally the exact same, except on 14-second intervals. So you get her before Toy Bonnie. Moving on, you will see me talk about the Vent Animatronics and the Duct Animatronics separately later on, so I'm skipping Mangle currently. Balloon Boy is one that doesn't kill you. He's great. He has a 66% chance to spawn when you flip up your cameras. He'll enter the room 3.33 seconds later as long as the cameras are up and the vent has not been closed the entire time he's been sitting there. Once he's in, he will disable your light, your flashlight for about 10 seconds. And then JJ works the exact same, except disabling your doors. Now, something to note about these two is if you see JJ in the vent and you flip up your cameras and Balloon Boy decides to spawn, Balloon Boy will override JJ and start his 3.33 second timer. But it cannot work the other way around. So Balloon Boy has a higher priority than JJ. I forgot to change the name. There we go. There we go. It's JJ. It has always been JJ. You have no proof it was ever Freddy Fazbear. It was that because I literally made a template slide and used it for all the future ones. That's the explanation. That's the first row of animatronics. Moving on to row 2, we have Withered Bonnie. Remember, we're skipping Withered Chica. Withered Bonnie works on 13-second intervals, but only when the cameras are up. So if the camera is down on a 13-second interval, 0% chance to spawn. But if it's up, then he has a 66% chance to spawn and will kill you after only 2.8 seconds. His fastest time is a guaranteed 15.8. He has a luck rank of 1 and a speed rank of only 2. He's pretty reliable to die to if you're getting unlucky with someone else. And not much to say else about him. Moving on to the Puppet. Puppet doesn't have the most info on them. What I do know is that after 17 seconds, the box will go out. And they have a chance to attack you whenever the cameras are up. I have no clue what their chance of attacking is, how often they get to attack, but I will say that my fastest time down was 18 seconds. I believe the fast should be 17 seconds, based on that's the moment the thing goes out, and with info we have on Toy Freddy, being that he can kill you the moment he dies, it should work the same with Puppet. But I have no knowledge of if that's true. But I do give a luck rank of 1 and a speed rank of 1. Luck rank is 1 instead of 0 because sometimes I have a Puppet kill at like 38 seconds, just not wanting to do it. So you never know what can happen. Golden Freddy, pretty fast time, 1.4 seconds. I'm not sure if you can be faster since you have to flip up the cameras and then back down for him to even spawn, and he kills a full second after. So if you can pull the cameras down the 4.4 second mark, then you get a faster time. Although really that should be a green dot. I think that is the fastest you can die to him. I mean, he only is a 50% chance of spawning upon the cameras being pulled down, and will kill 1 second after. So, really fast death. You'll more likely see a 1.5 second than a 1.4, but it is possible to get a 1.4. Luck rank 0, speed rank of 1. Nothing much else to say. Alright, we're gonna get into Phantoms now. All 3 of these are, they don't even kill you. Phantom Mingle has a 33% chance to spawn upon flipping up the cameras, and will attack 0.83 seconds after, and increases noise in the office when they do. This is an important note that you're going to need to remember for later on. For now, don't worry too much about it. But I will say, if you see them too early in the run, you're going to want to switch to a different system, whether it be ducts, vents, or cams, just a different one, so that you can not get jumpscared by them, because you're going to want to hold on to them. Okay. Moving into Phantom Freddy, just sit in your office and slowly materialize, and off the start of the night, will jump scare you after 12.75 seconds, as long as you don't flash your light. Simple as that. Just let him do it. His jump scare does let vent animatronics in, but there should be no situation where the vent animatronic gets to you before he's jump scared you. Phantom Balloon Boy, much like Phantom Mingle, has a 40% chance. Has a chance to spawn on cameras, but instead is 40%. He'll attack after being looked at for exactly 1 second. And unlike how Phantom Mingle works, you have to switch different systems. You can just switch a camera for this guy. Switching systems does also work, so take either one you want. Although you will want to get jump scared by him, but you will switch if you see Phantom Mingle behind him, so you don't want to get jump scared by that. Nightmare Freddy, every second that the camera is up, he has a 66% chance to make a fright appear. And upon 7 being in the office, he attacks you. Now you can get a 7-second death, but you need to get a little lucky for that to happen. He's still luck rank 0 though, since he pretty consistently jump scares you between the 7 and 11 second mark. So like, as long as you can get a time in there, you're fine. And he gets a speed rank of 1 because of that. He's really fast. Nightmare Bonnie is part of a group of 3 known as the Plush Animatronics. Plush Animatronics can spawn at 1, 3, or 5 a.m. If all 3 are active, that means they each get 1 a.m. to spawn on one of those 3, meaning that you will get a guaranteed 1 a.m. spawn. Now, they'll kill you 20 seconds after, as long as you're not looking at the camera that they spawn on. So at exactly 1 minute and 5 seconds, they'll kill you. They give a luck rank of 2 and a speed rank of 4 because they exceed that minute mark. And I feel like that luck rank kind of increases the less you have. Since when you only have 2 animatronics, there's like a 66% chance that one of them decides to spawn to the 1 a.m. mark, and once there's only 1 left, there's only a 33% chance that they'll take the opportunity and spawn at 1 a.m. Nightmare Fredbear and Nightmare are essentially the exact same. Like you can see, everything about them is the same, except for that this dude has Fredbear and the left and right. How these dudes work are every 5 seconds, the cameras, like every 5-second interval, as long as the cameras are up, they have a 50% chance to appear in their respective door. They attack 3.3 seconds after the cameras, like after they spawn and the cameras are up, so their fastest death is 8.3 seconds. Luck and Speed are 1, they can kill you in under 10 seconds, and they only need a 50% chance to spawn, so it's pretty likely that you'll die to them. Jacko Chica, they will start materializing once your office is above 90 degrees. They add AI times 2 aggro every second the office is above 90, which is 40. And then once aggro is 500, she will kill. The problem with this is when you're looking at it, you think it's going to be set time no matter what. My problem is that it's not. See, I've got a fastest of 26.3 seconds, but much like Freddy, when I, turn the heater on the moment the night starts and do nothing else, I've had kill up like 32 seconds. I don't know if there's a chance she adds aggro or what, but that is not a guaranteed death time. But it's still a luck rank of 0, so just turn on the heater, and a speed rank of 2. Nightmare Mangle, just like Nightmare Bonnie, one of the 3 plush animatronics. I won't go over it, since I already talked about it, but you can look at the slide. Nightmare Yon is probably the first one you're going to die to. They have 6 possible spots that they can be in. Now, 2 of these spots are off screen, so you can't actually die to them. But one of those 2 spots has a single pixel in the top left where you can actually still hover over them and they can kill you, which I just call the funny spot. I use it in all my runs. And once the mouse has been hovering over them for 0.8 seconds, they'll kill you. Meaning the fastest time is set 0.8. Luck rank is 0, and a speed rank of 1. Pretty self-explanatory. Nightmare BB, despite what a lot of people think, Nightmare on being the fastest death, Nightmare BB is. I have gotten the fastest death as 0.7 seconds. Because every time you flip the cameras up and down, he has a 50% chance to stand up. If you flip up your cameras while he's standing, he will kill. If you flash him while he's sitting, he will kill. Something to note though is that he will not kill if you flash him before you've ever flipped up the cameras. So if you don't want to use that luck of getting to stand up, you can flip the cameras up and down 1 time, look to the right, and flash him. The only problem is this takes about 1.4, 1.5 seconds, and I like to run that chance to get a 0.7. Just me personally, you can use either strategy. His luck and speed ranks should be pretty self-explanatory in what I gave him. Old Man Consequences is someone that doesn't kill. I don't know exactly when he spawns or how often he can spawn. The wiki didn't give me that information, but he seems to spawn around 5 or 6 second intervals, and upon failing his game, he will disable the cameras for 8 seconds. Now you may think just let him do his thing the moment he appears, but you really shouldn't, because if you are not allowed to flip the cameras, that stops you from dying to a lot of the animatronics. Like Nightmare Fredbear and Nightmare. Like, yeah, you could have them spawn, but if he disables cameras at like the 6 second mark, you're not going to be able to die to them until 8 seconds later, which is far past their fastest death, and you really don't want to die to them at that point. So just be wise when you die to them. You're going to want to die to someone like Toy Bonnie or Toy Chica who don't need the cameras up to kill you. Circus Baby is the final group of the 3 plush animatronics. Much like Nightmare Mangle, I'm not going to go over it. The slide is here for you to view. Then we got Ballora. Has the same interval time as Toy Chica, but has a 66% chance to spawn, so more likely than Toy Chica. They will give you a directional sound from left to right, and will kill you 2.8 seconds after they spawn, meaning that that's 16.8 guaranteed fastest. Something else to note is that while she is present, you are not able to see the cameras. You can still interact with them, but you won't really get much visual information out of it. Alright, and she has a luck rank of 1, since 66 is pretty generous, but a speed rank of 2, since 16 seconds happens in a later phase. I'll get to what phases are later. Funtime Foxy. Something funny about this character is it does not matter if they are on AI 1 or AI 20, they work the exact same. They start the night just by rolling 1, 2, or 3, 8. This is when their showtime is. Now, you only want to die to them, of course, a 1 a.m. showtime, and they will kill the exact moment that AM hits. So as long as you're not viewing the camera at the 45-second mark, Funtime Foxy will kill you. I give a luck rank of 0 since it's only a 33% chance that you can view at the very start of the night, but a speed rank of 3 because it requires you to wait a whole 45 seconds to die. Here we got Trash in the Gang. Trash in the Gang is kind of funny because in all of my runs, I constantly forget if they attack me and I always forget to turn them off. So they tend to stay for a while, but actually in my second place time, they don't even appear until like the 11 minute and 28 second mark. And they have a 66% chance to spawn every time you flip up your cameras. And something else funny about them is theoretically, they only have a 50% chance to kill you every 3 seconds. It's not every 3 second interval, it's every 3 seconds after they spawned. So if they spawn at the 1 second mark, they can kill at 4 seconds, 7 seconds, 10 seconds, onwards. You get the idea. But they could theoretically just sit in the bottom and never actually jump scare. Seeing Mr. Can Do on the cameras does not count as getting jump scared by them. So you cannot turn them off unless number 1 Crate and Bucket Bob do their whole reverb in your face thing. Helpy, he just has a 50% chance to spawn every time the camera is flipped up and will sit in your office and attacks after 7 seconds unless you click on it. Now, something to note is that he spawns when the camera is flipped up, not when it's down. So if you're trying to do something in the camera for 7 seconds, you can get jump scared by him and it pulls down the cameras. And very important to add is he adds 2,500 aggro to Music Man. We'll get on to how you can use that later, but that is a very important note to remember. And of course, he's one that doesn't kill, so all his stats down there are given. Skipping past all the Duct Animatronics, we move to Rockstar Freddy. Every 30 seconds, he has a 66% chance to do his please deposit 5 coins. But instead of only... You have to wait till you flip up your cameras. But instead of only running his chance if you flip the cameras are up, you'll run his chance and then start asking the next time you flip it up. So once you get to that phase in the run, I say you should always have your cameras up as you pass over the 30-second mark, just so that he can start asking immediately. He kills 27 seconds after, making 57 seconds the fastest that you can die in. I give him a luck rank 1 because it's 66% chance, but a speed rank of 3 because that's 57 seconds. Rockstar Bonnie works on 13-second intervals only when cameras are up, much like how Withered Bonnie works, and spawns at a 66% chance. Kills 16.9 seconds later, doesn't matter if the cameras are up and down. Is that set death time of 29.9, luck rank of 1, and a speed rank of 2. Rockstar Chica is a bit interesting, because for her to spawn, your cameras have to be down for an accumulative 10 seconds. Now what a cumulative is literally just, if you have the cameras down for 6 seconds, pull them up, keep it up for a while, then pull it down and have them down for 4 seconds, then she runs her chance to spawn. It's not that you have to have it down for exactly 10 seconds in a row, it has to be just overall. So if you keep your cameras down for the first 10 seconds of the night, she can spawn. Cool. If you keep it down for the first 5 seconds, flip up for 0.5, and then flip back down, she can spawn at 10.5 seconds. And when she runs this chance, there's a 66% chance for her to spawn at either door, and then we'll kill 15 seconds after, as long as your cameras are up, you are not looking at her on the cameras, and she has not been scared away by the sign. I'm not sure how true this is, but I have heard that she can be stalled by closing the door. I don't believe this is true, so do with that information as you will. I really should have given her a luck rank of 1. It shouldn't be 0 here. And a speedrun of 2, since it's 26 seconds. 25 seconds. Did I even update that stuff? Wow. Rockstar Foxy is an annoying one, since he can only spawn his bird on every minute interval. You only get 4 chances a night, and if you don't get that first chance, you're not going to wait for that second chance, unless it's like your last animatronic. Now, the bird has a 75% chance to spawn, which is pretty generous, but then upon clicking on the bird, you only have a 68% chance to actually die to him. So you can get the bird spawn on like every single run you get to that minute mark, but he can just never kill. Now the fastest death I've gotten to him is 1 minute 3 seconds 0.6. That actually might be the fastest, since I tend to spam click where his bird will spawn, but you never know, it could be faster. But that's generally the faster you're gonna get it. I'm a luck rank of 3 since you have to hit both those chances, and a speed rank of 4 since you pass the minute mark. Moving on to Music Man. He gains 1 plus AI divided by 5, so in the case of AI 20, he gains 1 plus 4, which is 5 aggro. Every frame, the noise bar is 3 or higher, which can be very easily done by having the fan on and turning on the power generator. As mentioned previously, Helpy's attack will cause him to gain 2,500 aggro, and he kills once he reaches 10,000. The fastest death I've gotten to him is 16.6 seconds, which is pretty fast. I give him a luck rank of 0 since you can pretty consistently get a quick death, and a speed rank of 1 since it's pretty fast death. El Chip is one that doesn't kill you. Love those people. He has a 66% chance to spawn in every 10-second interval. That's all there is to him. Funtime Chica has a 66% chance to spawn on 35-second intervals, which is why you may be late into the run and be like, wow, I haven't gotten her yet. It's because she spawns pretty late into the night. Scrap Baby, kind of interesting, since she kind of just has 3 states. She has not being in the office at all, sitting down in the office, and then sitting up in the office looking at you. She can only move to her next stage on 5-second intervals when the cameras are up, and she has a 66% chance to do so. So at the start of the night, in a lot of the runs, you're just going to be sitting there, and then quickly flip up and down at the 5-second interval, see if she's there, and if she is, do the same thing again at the 10-second interval, and if she's looking at you, then she's ready to attack. And when she is, she has a 20% chance to kill you every frame that the cameras are up. Now, something to note is that if she ends up looking up at a later part in the night that isn't 10 seconds, all you have to do is press the zap button, she goes away for the rest of the night, never to return. I give her a luck rank of 1 and a speed rank of 1. Afton here gets pretty annoying. He has a 25% chance to spawn on 29-second intervals and will kill after 1.1 seconds. His AI does not affect that chance, it only affects how much time you have to react to him. So his fast time is a guaranteed 30.1 seconds. His luck rank is 1 because, 25% chance, how many runs go past that point, you're gonna get him at some point, and his speed rank of 2. Now something to note, you may think you're gonna get him at some point. I've had a run where he was one of the last 2 animatronics and chose to never kill me. And it sucks. Lefty here has a 20% chance to add aggro every single frame. It's kind of weird, honestly. I don't get why it works that way. So he has a 20% chance every frame to add these 2 conditions, where he gains +1 aggro if the office is above 80 degrees, and +2 when it's above 100. And then he also adds to his aggro the level of noise bars -1. So if you have 2 noise, you gain 1 every time. If you have 2 noise, you gain... If you have 3 noise, you gain 2 every time. 4, you gain 3 every time. So on and so forth. But, it doesn't work negatively. You can only increase it. The fastest time I've gotten to die to him was 33 seconds, which I'll go over how that's possible later. I give him a luck rank of 2 and a a speed rank of 2. I give him that luck rank because honestly, 20% every frame isn't as generous as you'd like it to be. Now you got phone guy. If you know what this picture is, you're a true FNaF fan. If you don't, I'm not going to explain it. He has just a 66% chance to spawn on every 20-second interval, and causes the noise bar on the octaves to increase by 1 during the call. He doesn't kill you, so that's all there really is to say about him. Now that's the whole roster, except for the 10 that we've forgotten. We'll start by going over the Duct Animatronics. Now, something I will talk about is which path they go on, which is paths 1, 2, and 3. Now, some info to learn before I go over all these animatronics is that each of them start with a set speed and roll a new speed on every 6-second interval. This speed can range from 1.5 to 10, or 1.5 to 11 in Springtrap's case. Hello, editor note here. That info that I bring with the 1.5 to 10 and 11 is actually not true. It's actually 0 to 11 for all the animatronics. The problem being that it's 1.5 when they're at 1 AI and 10 when, or 11 when they're at 20 AI. The reason it says 10 and 11 for Springtrap is because there was a typo on the wiki that I did not notice until after recording this video. And upon hitting a turn, they change their speed to a predetermined number immediately. Doesn't matter when the interval is, it just happened, if it's about to happen, they will set it. Now the turns, as you can see here, are 1, 2, 3 for path 1. And for path 2 and 3, they're both 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And path 3 goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just something to note. Now you can see here, I've given the info based off their name, what their start speed is, and what their turn speed is. We got Mangle with a start speed of 3 and a turn speed of 1, Withered Chica with a start speed of 6 and a turn speed of 1, the exact same for Springtrap. Ennard has a start speed of 1 and a turn speed of 5, and Molten Freddy has a start speed of a whopping 8 and a turn speed of 5. Now, the turn speeds are going to greatly affect you, since sometimes you can actually get them to hit the turn, and then immediately the 6-second interval goes off so that it never affected you, or you can get this 6-second interval to hit, and then they immediately hit the turn, meaning they're going to be at 1 speed for the next 6 seconds, unless you're Molten Freddy or Ennard. They move a lot faster. So getting out to Mangle. Mangle will take any of the 3 vent paths. Completely up to them which one they go. But you're only going to want to take a kill on the first path, since it's the fastest. They are affected by vent snare, and will always sit waiting at the door. They will not get knocked back to the start by closing the vent on them. Once they are in your office, they have a 33% chance to kill you every second the monitor is up. Which sounds pretty good, it's not. I've been sitting with Mangle for a good 40 seconds before they could move. The fastest that I currently have recorded is a 46.9 second. I'm giving that a speed rank of 4 and a luck rank of 3. The speed rank is so high because you're really not going to get that low usually. The luck rank really just comes down to all the stuff of having to get the correct path and then a good death time. Withered Chica will always take the third path. She is affected by vent snare and will actually be knocked back at the start if you close the vent on her. And similar to how Mangle works, is the chance to kill every second the monitor is up, but this chance is 66%, which is a lot more generous. Still doesn't like to kill that often. But while they're at the entrance, no other animatronics can get in, except for Mangle. I'm pretty sure of how to run where Withered Chica was sitting right there, and Mangle still got it. Fastest I have recorded is a 1 minute and 3 seconds, with a luck rank of 3 and a speed rank of 4. Springtrap, much like Withered Chica, will always take path 3, and will kill 3.33 seconds after being at the vent opening, which you can see indicated by the face of the vent or just by looking at the camera and seeing him make it to the spot. Fast I've died him is exactly 1 minute, 0.9. Luck rank 3 and a speed rank of 4. Ennard has a fastest 46-second kill, 46.2, and he always takes the middle path. He will kill 3.33 seconds after arriving at the vent, which will be indicated by watching visually or hearing the little squeak sound that he makes when he gets there. Something the special note about him is that you can only actually see him on the cameras when he moves. He will flicker a little bit and then go completely invisible until he moves again. His speed and luck rank are both 3. We went to the last one of the events. We got Molten Freddy. Always take the middle path, like entered. Kills 3.33 seconds after arriving to the event, indicated by his laugh. But something to note is because his jaw is so massive, sometimes his sprite hits the little hitbox to start that 3.33 second timer before actually moving into the spot and laughing, so it could seem soon. Fast reported death is 38 seconds, and I give him both a luck and speedrunning of 3. He's the fastest vent animatronic. You're probably going to die to him a lot earlier than all the other ones. Moving on to the Duct Animatronics. These ones you don't really need much prior info. Getting into Happy Frog. Happy Frog moves on 1 second intervals at a 66% chance every time. Will be fooled by the audio lure 100% of the time and is not pushed back by the heater. Once they get in position to attack, they have a every half second the cameras are up upon being in position, they have a 50% chance to kill. I forgot to mark it with this one, but you'll see it with the later ones. My fastest reported death is a 9 second, 0.4. It's pretty fast. And I give them a rank of 1 for both. Mr. Hippo, you see off to the right there, do not die to him until the end. This man will yap for like 2 to 3 minutes about just whatever, and there's no way to avoid it. You try holding escape while he's jump scaring you, he'll still play it. You Alt F4 from the game and open it again, he'll play it. You press F2, which resets the game, he'll still play it. There's no way to avoid it. He moves on 0.95 second intervals at a 66% chance. He is fooled by the audio 100% of the times, and has a 2% chance to be pushed back by the heater 10 times every second. When he's ready, he has a 50% chance to kill every half second the cameras are up. Fast death is a 9.5, and the luck and speed rank up 1. Pig Patch moves on 0.9 second intervals at a 66% chance, and is also fooled by the audio 100% of the time, and just like Hippo, has a 2% chance to be pushed back by the heater 10 times every second, and then has the same exact kill condition. Fast reported death is 7.2. Something to note is that these have different fast reported deaths, but a 7.2 seconds is theoretically possible for both of these two as well, since they're not really. I think Happy Frog, they have a slight variation off their intervals of movement, being 9, 9.5, and 1. I said that wrong, but you get what I mean. But roughly, they have the same exact times if you can get one of them's lowest. Something to note is that Nedbear here moves on 0.85 second intervals at a 66% chance, a lot faster, but only is fooled by the audio 50% of the time. Now, a bonus for that is that they are pushed back by the heater 2% chance every frame, so it's 60 times per second instead of the 10 for the others. It has the same exact kill condition, and I've actually died to him a lot faster, and it could be from the 0.85 second interval, but the fact that he is one that is fooled by the audio less and has killed me faster is kind of funny to me. Give him a luck rank of 2 and a speed rank of 1. Now, Orbital Elephant is the most annoying one of the events. Moves on 0.9 second intervals, and has 66% chance to move like everyone else. Pushed back by the heater, 2% chance every frame like Nedbear, but is only fooled by audio 10% of the time, which sucks trying to get them to kill you. You can still use the audio, but never really expect Orbital to follow. Same exact kill condition. My fast recorded time is 13.2. I do believe I've gotten faster, like a 10 second, but I can't say for sure what the time is, so that is what I have recorded. I give him a luck rank of 3 and a speed rank of 2. Now, while 13 is pretty fast, it is a 2 because you can't really consistently get that high. With that being said, that's all the animatronics. So now we're going to move on to strategies to get good times. I'm going to use these 3 things you're going to want to remember. Phases. I'll go over each of them in detail. A phase is where you can focus on a set group of animatronics at a time. It lowers your range from seeing like there are currently 50 animatronics I have to die to, alright, here's this little group that I'll die to all these guys and then move on to the next one. It makes it a lot easier for your brain to handle. Next thing to note is similar kill times. 2 animatronics can have similar kill times, like Toy Chica and Ballora. they both work on 14-second intervals. Usually lump them together in their phase, since, you know, similar kill times is where how you kind of build phases. And, you know, if you don't get one, you can always hope for the other. And the last thing to note is luck versus set. Now, while I do say set, you could also look at it as luck versus luckier. Because sometimes you have an animatronic ready to kill, but another one is on its way that uses a lot more luck than the first one. Like, say you're sitting with Jacko Chica, ready to attack around that 29-second mark, but then you hear Scrap Trap going off. You don't want to die to Jacko Chica anymore. You want to take Scrap Trap instead because he's less likely to get. Or in the case of Ballora and Toy Chica, you know, you gotta get some luck to get Ballora to spawn at 66%, but Toy Chica's 34%. So in that case, you'd rather die to Toy Chica than Ballora. Always take the luckier one. Now, phase 1, I call under 5, because you're going to guide to these 4 animatronics, all possible in under 5 seconds. It does not matter what order you do this in. I personally go Nightmare On, Nightmare Balloon Boy, Golden Freddy, Chica, but you can do it in literally any order you want. It doesn't matter. Nothing much to say about this phase. It's pretty easy to go over, especially with only 4 animatronics, but it's how you will start all your runs. Next phase is a single run called Music Man. This entire run is centered around dying to this guy. But he's not the only one you're going to get. You have to die to all these guys too. Now I say die, these all are animatronics that don't actually kill. But the only 2 that are actually guaranteed to attack you are Helpy and Phantom Freddy. In the perfect world, you get all of them. But sometimes you're not going to get that luck. Which is where I'm going to say, while phases I'm going to give you all the animatronics, you don't have to die to all of them in this current phase. Sometimes they bleed into future phases, and that's alright. You just gotta know when to die to them. Now, how this phase works is you are going to start the run and immediately turn on your power generator and close your side vent. Close your side vent because if if JJ spawns and Ballora spawns, you can't block off Ballora. And since you desperately need Helpy to be part of this, once you get jump scared by him, you have to turn him off. You can't intentionally leave him off. It's against the rules, as I've heard by Chunk. So you're going to want to make sure that JJ just does not get into the room. So close that vent. And then what you're going to do is start flipping the cameras up and down rapidly until you see Helpy spawned. When you see him there, sit back and relax. Don't do anything other than making sure you're not dying to an animatronic. And also, if Old Man Consequences spawns, you don't want to die to him just yet, since you have to do a second camera flip. Anyway, after 7 seconds, Helpy attacks, and then you start your camera flips again until he appears in your office once more. Now, after this point, you only need Helpy to attack you twice. It only adds 5,000 to Music Man's total aggro, but he builds the other 5,000 on his own by having noise via the fan and power generator. So this is the area of time that you want to die to Old Man Consequences. Something to note is if he spawns and you don't hear that like sound cue of losing the minigame, you didn't actually die to him. L-Chip only has that one opportunity to spawn at the 10-second mark. If you don't die to him on this run, it's not really going to affect you that much. Trash in the Gang, same thing. Every time you flip your cameras, they can spawn, but it's not guaranteed and it won't affect you that much later on. Old Man Consequences will, because as I mentioned earlier, because how he works is, you can't flip your cameras for 8 seconds. So if you end up, 5-second interval, you spawn Nightmare and Nightmare Fredbear, and then lose his minigame, you can't die to them. You have to wait that 8 seconds, meaning that it's no longer your fastest time to die to them. So you'd want to usually get his effect off, and then die to someone either where their fast time is after the 8-second mark, or someone that does not require the camera to be flipped up, like Toy Bonnie or Toy Chica. The next phase I call Duct Rush, which of course you have to die to these 4 Duct Animatronics, excluding Hippo because he's last. But not just them, you're going to want to try and die to all of these other guys. Now, I put them left to right based on how likely you are to die to them during this phase. You got the Duct Animatronics on the left, and the 3 that won't actually kill you. Puppet and Toy Freddy, while they do run on chances, do have a pretty consistent time to kill you, being around like 20 seconds before. Nightmare Freddy pretty consistently kills you between the 7 and 11 second mark. Nightmare and Nightmare Fredbear pretty consistently spawn at the 5 second mark and will kill you at 8.5. And then all the ones on the right have a 13, 14, or 15 second spawn rate. So, yeah, and they all are running by chances. Now, I'll actually explain how to do this here in the past. You want to prioritize dying to the Duct Animatronics, and then use the other luck-based stats, die to them when the characters are slow. Like, sometimes it's only a 66% chance to move, they should be sitting, or don't want to move, taking their sweet time. When that happens, you're gonna be like, alright, I'd rather die to Toy Chica spawn. Also, something to note is that if the run goes long enough for Withered Bonnie, any of the toys, the Nightmares, Puppet, or Ballora to spawn, it probably wasn't fast enough. Only exception being Orb, since, he can take a while. Getting these deaths also help ensure your lefty run later, which I'll go over, so just make sure you die to all of these guys. And all these ones in the next phase called Heating Up, which consists of these ones. Not a very large group. Still pretty annoying. Now, I call it Heating Up because during this phase, you will always start the run by turning on your heater. You can actually turn it on the frame the night starts by holding down the 3 button while you're still in the loading screen. Now, if you're playing on the Microsoft Store version, you don't have a loading screen, so you don't get to buffer. But that is the perk that having a loading screen does, you get to buffer. Granted, it's not that big a perk, but it's still a perk. You can do it frame one. Now, you're going to want to leave them down, like leave the cameras down, because Rockstar Chico over here can only spawn after an accumulative 10 seconds of the cameras being down. But you do want to flip it up at the 5-second interval really quick just to see if Scrappy spawns. And then do it again at the 10-second to see if she moves into the next phase, and if she doesn't, it's not worth it that run. Don't die to her. And if she doesn't spawn at the first mark, then just leave the camera down a little past 10 seconds to see if Rockstar Chica spawns. You are going to want to prioritize dying to Rockstar Chica because I found she can be quite the annoyance. Even after Freddy and Jacko Chica are gone, which are the only two that are actually affected by the heater, you are still going to want to keep it on while Jacko Chica's alive to push back Mr. Hippo. Once Jacko Chica's gone, you can actually flip up the camera immediately, go to Ducks, and place an audio. So, Freddy, Jacko Chica, and Rockstar Chica are the only 3 that mean the moment the night starts, you turn on that heater. And try your best to sneak in Scrap Trap. I mean, realistically, you die to all the other animatronics before you really get the chance for them to spawn, other than, Jacko Chica. But if after this phase, you don't have Scrap Trap death, you probably want to try and die to him by doing something like, if you see a 1 a.m. Funtime Foxy, try going for that. And, just maybe you'll hit that 25% chance in the 29-second interval, and you'll die to Scrap Trap. And then you can leave Funtime Foxy for later. That's the perfect one. Now, moving on to the next one is the lefty run, as I said. Now, when you start the lefty run, you're going to want to make sure you die to everyone in the other phases. Don't let them bleed into this one, unless maybe Scrap Trap, preferably not. Of course, you're going to want to die to lefty during this run, with the help of these 2. Now, remember when I told you that they increase the noise in the office? Lefty is aggroed by noise. This is how the run works. You start by immediately turning on the heater. Now, you're going to want to keep an eye on your temperature, because every time that the heat hits 110, you will immediately press 1 and spacebar to turn on the power generator and the fan. This will generate 3 bars of noise in your office. And, the temperature is still above 100, meaning that it's still getting the +2 on every aggro increase. Now, the moment you see it hit 100, you're going to press 3 to turn the heater back on. Don't worry, it automatically turns off your fan. And you're just going to want to cycle that. 110, power gen fan, 100, heater. Now, while you're doing this, you're going to want to continuously spawn Phantom Mingle. You don't want Phantom Mingle to be constantly in the office because they increase the noise bar by 1, which I previously mentioned makes Lefty more mad, and then hope that Phone Guy spawns at the 20-second mark to further increase the noise. Doing this will get Lefty to kill around the 30 to 40-second mark, which is perfect. Which is why once you get around to 30 seconds, you're going to want to always have the cameras up, only flipping them down to bring Phantom Mingle back into the office. And then doing that, you can get, as I've seen, a 33-second at the earliest. Pretty good, and it's pretty consistent too. And your next phase is the final stretch. I'm not putting the animatronic images down because it's literally everybody else that you have not died to yet. This is just the part where you pick off everyone else as they appear to you. And you do want to use your knowledge of luck versus set to try and die to animatronics that use more luck. Do not put off the plush animatronics. Sometimes you are going to want to die to a plush animatronic before somebody who spawns like 30-second run, because they're just that annoying late in the run. I have had runs die because it was really good time, and they just chose not to spawn on my final run at 1 AM, and I completely killed it. Keep an eye on all the animatronics in the vents, looking at their speeds, so sometimes you'll be like, wow, it's a fast speed. I'm going to put off all the other animatronics because this is a luck-based one. That is, I need a lot of luck. And also for like Mangle, taking the first path. And try your best to use your DD protection. Now DD protection is these guys. It can also be used with like Mangle, but it's really unlikely. Also with someone like Wither Chica or Springtrap, but once again, very unlikely. Now what is DD protection? Good question, me. No, thank you. These are the few animatronics that can kill you in that window of time of when DD spawns to when DD actually like spawns the animatronic. Now you never want DD to add someone. Do your best to keep like DD out of the picture of the run. In my second place time, she never actually gets to spawn somebody, which is perfect. Realistically, you need about 6 runs that make it past the mark where she actually spawns someone in. That being the 3 plush animatronics, Rockstar Foxy, and then Springtrap and Wither Chica. Like I said before, Springtrap and Wither Chica could theoretically kill before that moment that an animatronic spawns, but it is highly unlikely. Something to note though, DD Repel is allowed. You see in my, like second place time, if you watch it, at the very end, I use DD Repel for like the last 2 runs just to guarantee she doesn't ruin it. And if she does spawn someone, you're gonna want to pray that it's either a secret animatronic or someone who doesn't kill. Now you probably think that DD can add anybody from the main roster, which is not true. She can only add these 22. Now I put little dots into them based on how bad it is that I think when she spawns. Red being like, you are losing a lot of time here, your run is probably not going to PB with this kind of luck. Orange being like, yeah, that sucks, but it's not the end of the world. And green being like, this is one of the best spawns you can get. As you can see, the only ones that have green are ones that don't kill, but there's 2 animatronics that are actually in the under 5 phase. While this may look sucky, like, wow, that's a lot of reds, there's only 5 greens, do keep in mind that all 6 of the secret animatronics are greens. Because you don't have to actually die to them. You can't do anything about them being on the roster, so you just ignore them completely. It's perfect. And once all this has gone down, you are at the very end of your run. Once you've died to all 49 others, and the only one left is Mr. Hippo, you want to go ahead, open up the ducts, and lure him down to kill you. And the time ends the moment he jump scares you. You don't have to sit through his entire speech and then take him off the board and then end time. It's just when he jump scares. And once that happens, you have your run. I hope that this whole thing has given you a lot of insight on how to get a better time, using the phases, using all the info that you have in the animatronics. And you don't have to use the phases as I've given them to you. You can build whatever type of run you want. Just do your best to use the exact info of all the animatronics. Something that I would recommend that I did for my first few days is I have a second monitor, which makes this easy, but on my second monitor, I had a text document of all the phases spaced out. So I can read them and be like, oh, these animatronics are in my phase, I should focus them. I got to the point where I can just remember who's in what phase. If it really does help you, I recommend having a separate document open, whether it be a piece of paper physically on your desk, or a second monitor that has it all written down. Now, if you've watched this far, thank you so much. Subscribe if you want to, it would really help me out, encourage me to make more. Leave a like, it means so much when people do that. And I really hope that you run the game. I mean, it's free on Steam. It does have the worst load times there, but it's free and very accessible to anybody who wants to run it. And using this guide, I think that you can get a good time. That being said, happy running, and thank you for watching.